industry is primarily all revolved around Bollywood and Hollywood, or just Bollywood, shall I say. So what I mean by that is the majority of Indian music, all these songs that you hear, during a wedding and all these same-day edit videos and stuff like that, they all pretty much come from soundtracks. That's right, it's an actual movie. There's like a love scene in a movie, they're about to kiss and then all of a sudden they jump into song and dance. And that's how they do it. I mean, it's not really that peculiar. I know according to our modern day, it's like, okay, cool, that seems kind of weird, but if we think about it and if we look back in time, is anyone here familiar with Gene Kelly? You guys remember Gene Kelly's, what was his famous song? There we go. So, it's a lot like this. That's right, that's an Indian actor for you. Oh, we'll cut through it, we're not going to show you the whole song. So, the one major difference though, is that Gene Kelly's actually singing. Indian actors lip sync. The actual singer is really like some 70-year-old lady who's considered like the goddess of singing. So she's like a wrinkled Adele, shall I say. And that's pretty much how it works. Same thing with the guys, you see like some handsome guy in a Bollywood video, and he's really not singing, he's lip syncing. It's really some big, large, gray-haired Indian bald man that's singing this beautiful song. And that's the way Bollywood works. So if you ever notice it, you might notice that, the vocals are a little off and things like that. So one thing about Bollywood, it's a lot like Days of Our Lives, it's really melodramatic. I'm talking about like zooming into the face, like every scene, every aspect of dialogue. I love you, zoom. I love you too, zoom. And it's like goes on and on and on. It's melodramatic just like that. The one thing that's really key of an Indian Bollywood song or music video, which is actually a scene in the movie, is that there'll be like 10 scene changes throughout this 7-minute song. That's right, 7 minutes. As DJs, it's our job to cut that down to like 3 minutes, otherwise half of the people are like, all right, cool, I'm over this wedding. And then one major thing is that for almost 80% of the movies and for the songs, they have to like dance and sing in the rain. Just like Gene Kelly. And another thing that's really famous about Indian movies, and you'll see this more like in the movies before like 1994, because we're all westernized now. We finally had like a sex scene in a movie and people were like, oh, but hey, it happened. Okay, so the one famous thing is the infamous kiss. It never happens. I'm talking like they'll be like, and then they like look away. That's just the way they do it. So I mean, it was like a kiss was really taboo in Indian culture, and to see it in cinema, considering that there's no real like rating system for movies. So all movies in some aspect have to be like PG, shall I say. So that's kind of how that works. I'm going to show you a scene from a famous Indian movie. This is like the modern day Indian Gone with the Wind or Casablanca. It's like the highest revenue movie like in the last 40 years in Bollywood. It's called Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge. Can you repeat that for me? All right. Well, you can do what most of us do. We just call it DDLJ. So a little background on the scene that you're about to see, which is going to jump into a music video, is that Raj and Simran, Raj being the guy and Simran being the girl, are two people who didn't know each other, and they were on a Europe backpacking trip after their graduation. They didn't know each other. Raj saw Simran, he's like, hey, single lady, I'm on a trip, why not? Let's try it. So after he became friends with her, he realized that she's engaged. Throughout this trip, he falls in love with her, and she's kind of just like, oh, cool, I got a new friend. And so it's about the end of the trip now, and they're about to say goodbye to each other. Hey, I had a great time with this trip. And she basically says, hey, I want you to come to my wedding. Will you come to my wedding? And that's where we are.
तुम आओगे ना?
नहीं, मैं नहीं.